Hey, welcome to Structured Gibberish Friday night stream. I'm Brian, that's Pat. Let's get into it. What do you think about that
Do it.
opening? I'm trying out a new thing.
I like it. No, that's good. That's good. That
Cool, cool.
makes me feel like we're on like a '90s political talk show, though.
hmm
Like, let's get into it
Yeah.
today in Washington. Da, 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 da.
The it's like when if you ever watch like a YouTube video where there's like a 10-minute like introduction and then they're like, "All right, and then let's dive right in."
Oh, funny anecdote.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so last week, a friend asked me if I knew anything about HR Puffin stuff versus McDonald's. Have you ever heard about this?
Mm-mm.
We're gonna go very quickly through it. The overall is, you remember, Ronald McDonald and his friends,
I've
basically.
heard of them. Yeah.
In the '70s there were several more friends.
hmm
There was Mayor McCheese, there was the
Fry Kids.
Constable Big Mac, and
Mhm.
Fry Kids were around in the '90s too, though.
Oh, you're talking
Anyway,
about
the
people who are
point
not
is
here
that
anymore.
correct.
Okay.
The overall thing is basically, the guy who ran McDonald's was friends with Walt Disney back in the day when Disney was opening Disney World. McDonald's wanted in. They said, "Hey, we should be your restaurants in there," and they're like, "No, we want to have, like, Mickey's place and stuff like that." And of course, McDonald's didn't want to just substitute their food for Mickey's food or what have you. But overall, they said, "Okay, fine, we're going to open our own theme park." And then they realized they couldn't really do that, and so they were going to open what we learned. What we had was the play places. And so there was a whole marketing campaign built around them. And to do that, they had to talk to Sid and Marty Croft of the HR Puffin stuff, which is a very popular kids TV show in the '70s for folks who don't know. Um, Basically, they hired the Croft brothers to put together this this thing, and then a few months into it, called and said, "Never mind, we're canceling it." But then hired a bunch of their people, including actors and voice actor or voiceover artists from the HR Puffs and Stuff show to be their characters.
Mm.
And so, like, if you apparently say, I would, even me, who is kind of in the know about this stuff, I had no clue. If you look at Mayor McCheese and HR Puffin stuff side by side, there are a lot of little similarities that on their own wouldn't be that bad, but then it turned out that the voice actor was hired. The voice actor of HR Puffin stuff apparently was the voice actor for Mayor McCheese, and they both wear sashes that say that they're the mayor, and like their characters at the core were essentially the same. So anyway, the Crofts sued McDonald's and won. Um, but this is not the reason I'm telling you all this story. The reason I'm telling you this story is exactly what I just did to you, is what happened to me. Because I looked this up and there was a sum total of like one video about this topic.
Okay.
And it was like two lawyer guys talking about it. And they spent the first like 18 minutes of a 30-minute video talking about other fast food places that they enjoyed. He's like, Taco Bell. I don't like Taco Bell. When I go to Taco Bell, I end up visiting, the restroom bell, if you know what I mean. I poop a lot. It's
That's
like,
not even funny.
why did we just spend all this time talking about this? So that was the short version of what I dealt with, but interesting nonetheless. So, um, you want to get into it?
Okay. Sure. Sure. Let's I'm gonna now that I have brought up all the links in the browser, I want to change the order
Hmm.
because I'm just gonna leave the browser up. So before I bring the browser up, I want to
Yes,
talk about my thing. Because we're
you
basically
have a thing.
for much of the rest of this, we're probably just gonna be browsing through the Hasbro Pulse website.
Well, fair
But
enough.
look
Let's just get through all of our bullshit and
exactly. Then we can get to hawking someone else's wares for free. But anyway,
oh, free.
ta-da!
Oh, I love that guy.
I love the.
He's a
I
cool
haven't
guy.
opened it except I have, and then I put it back in. But I'm gonna open it real quick. But he's this is Zen Kaiser. It says right there. He's the leader of the Zen
Hmm.
Kaijers. This is the first Sentai figure art. They stopped doing Sentai figure arts after Kyoryuger, which was I don't know, like 8 years ago or something like that, 7 years ago. So they
That's a
stopped.
long time.
They stopped after those, and well, technically they put out some American Mighty Morphin ones after that, but they stopped making new molds. And for some reason, they have started again with this, and I think it's great. What they seem to be doing is just the leaders. What they used to do was the entire team, and I think that's why they stopped doing it was because it was like these figures are like $60 to $90 each, and it's like, hey, here's 5 figures that are almost exactly the same but different colors. And like from their point of view, it's probably pretty cost effective to do that, but they always put them out all at the same
Absolutely.
time, and then everyone has to drop all that money, or they like spread it out throughout the show. But still, it's like it was hard for them uh, to convince people to drop the money on. So they didn't sell very well, not as well as like Common Writers, and then they branched out to doing Marvel and Dragon Ball and all that other stuff, and that sells a lot better. So, um, but yeah, so there, this guy was very reasonably priced. I got him from Amazon Japan. Um, I paid like literally MSRP for him, which was great, and shipping was like $10 or $15, which was good. Um, I went to
Awesome.
this week. I went to pre-order the next one, the second Sentai, Don Momotaro, the leader of the next season, the Red Ranger, and it was um, MSRP with $313 shipping, or like 39 something thousand yen. And I almost clicked when I looked at it. I thought it said like 3,900 whatever because it's yen, and I don't know. Yeah, I usually get to the end and I type in you know the converter and see how much I'm about to pay here, and then
Hmm.
and so I'm like, yeah, fine. I get to the cart and I'm moving the mouse over to the buy button, and I just happen to look down and I'm like, wait a minute, the shipping is an extra digit more than the cost. Hold on a second here. How much am I paying in shipping here? And I type in like the grand total, 47 something thousand. I type it in. It's like $418. I almost paid. And then I don't even know who you got to talk to get something canceled at Amazon Japan, but I'm sure it's actually very easy.
Right.
It's probably just like a little one-click thing. But either way, so I will not be buying that because I missed out on all the other places where it went up for sale because I was like, oh, Amazon Japan will have it.
I feel like that's got to be mislabeled.
I
You know what I mean?
Either
Like
that or it's a
maybe check
scalper.
back in a week or
Yeah.
something. Well, that's true. That's true. It could be a scalper. So, but
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I
check
don't
it out,
know.
actually.
I would keep looking.
Code.jp. What I love about Code.jp is that it's half Japanese, half uh, English. Dan
It
Momoto.
sounds fun.
Where are you? The listing is great because it just says like Sentai and then everything else is in Japanese. So you can't really even search for it with English. Anyway, I'll search for it at some other point. Plus the figure arts of Momotaros from Kamen Rider Deno always comes up when I search. Yeah, actually, that figure is gone now from the site. Looks like. Anyway, here he is
I really
with
like that figure. I like his.
look at that collar.
I like the cut of his jib.
Yeah, you can't.
Looks like he has a nosebleed that goes right into his shirt.
I mean, he's got like all the usual like um, you know figure art posability and
Bells and
everything. The
whistles and
usual. He's got toes.
ricketa racketa.
Yep. You can't see it because my camera won't focus that close, but he does have all of the holes in his visor for the actor to see out because they're this his visor is an homage to the original where they actually just had to poke holes in the visor. Does his
That's
belt
awesome.
thing open? I hope not. Okay, good. So anyway, he comes with lots of hands, so you can do the different poses
Hmm.
of whatnot.
Hmm.
And then he comes with this is my favorite thing about figure arts. an extremely tiny, whatever you call this thing, Getlinger, Geert, no, Geertlinger.
It is that is really well made though.
Yeah, very tiny, to scale, of course. Um, the
Hmm.
the crank does crank. Not that you could.
Wow.
The crank cranks. It doesn't turn anything, but the barrel turns. I was told it turned. Oh yeah, it does. Turns. I'm not going to turn it because it may actually not be supposed to turn. But yeah, either way, it's. I mean, every piece of detail is painted. I wish I could. It says Geertlinger written on it. There, you can't see it. My camera doesn't have any sort of focus. It's designed to always be focused on me, but it says Geertlinger written on it very clearly. Like or this is a craft, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, at least you're getting what you pay for.
mhm.
That's the main thing.
So we could do, where's the hand that holds the gun? We'll just throw that on there real quick. Yeah, so I'm hoping I can get a Don Momotaro at some point. 'Cause the show's been really interesting so far because this guy on his show, he's very serious, or he's very like crazy. He's highly energetic. That's like the whole point is the Zenkaiger means like high powered hero essentially, or full speed.
Hmm.
So he's very energetic and stuff. And in the new show, there is a character of the same name played by the same actor who is very serious. And he wears all black and he transforms into this guy, but with all like as if he's like grayscale. He turns into Zen Kaiser Black. And I
Interesting.
don't I don't think I'm not caught up. I don't think they've yet revealed what the deal is with that, but basically he owns a restaurant. He owns a very fancy restaurant that is clearly built into the same set where on his show his grandma's like restaurant was. Like they rebuilt the same set. Like it's
Oh,
clearly like it's in the same place. Like you walk down the same alley to get into it. It's like very clearly like you're supposed to be like, oh, this is the same place, but it looks different now. So there's something going on this show. There's a little bit of a mystery. I don't know.
that is very weird and
Yeah,
interesting.
but I think
So,
his cape, yeah, his cape is kind of folded. It kind of unfolds a little bit there, so you can.
is it plastic
Yeah, it's like a very thin.
or
It's a
is it?
thin plastic.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
neat.
So I always like this design because he's white and red, but then he's got like all the other ranger colors running down.
Right.
So very cool. I'm excited for my first new Sentai figure arts in a long time.
That's awesome. I kind of miss figure arts. I went on a figure arts binge um, for Star
Hmm.
Wars, and but honestly, I think I only bought like 4 or 5. But I mean, that's a lot for
Yeah.
me for figure arts,
Well, it's like
and I haven't gotten a new one in a really long time. But
QC with
every so often, I get the itch.
yeah, quality control with like Lightning Collection and stuff is hit or miss. But these guys, figure arts, like I don't think I've ever had a problem. Ever since the original ones were kind of spindly. Like they were good for the time because we'd
A
never
little,
seen
yeah,
anything better, but they've improved on the body and the posability and everything
yeah.
significantly. And so
I
this is way better than like I'm not gonna say way better, but it looks more natural than the original like Mighty Morphin ones I had.
the yeah the I have the Green Ranger. I think from the original. Nice. The original line, and it's great. It's got that, like, at first glance you really do think that it's, if you're looking at a picture of it, it looks like a guy in a
Hmm.
suit, you know, until you notice the joints,
Hmm.
which they're certainly not the first thing that knock you over the head. So
There's a build quality to a figure art that's different than like a Marvel Legend or a Lightning Collection or something, right? Like it's like a harder plastic and the joints they don't ratchet, but they're tight. You know, it's like it's
right, they're very
yeah,
smooth, but they are very tight.
yeah. It's like I think I've still got who have I got sitting over? I've still got Finster standing over here because I like to look at him, But like he's highly detailed too, but he's a little bit of a softer plastic. He's actually a little heavier, and like they've always got the
Hmm.
ratcheting now because they want to, they want you
Right,
to be able
like.
to pose it and have it stay. Oops, get your thing around there, But figure arts are just every joint is tight. Wait,
Hmm.
All right.
Tweaked like a twigger.
So that's my joy of the week. I actually have another thing that I got like 2 weeks ago, and I left it upstairs. And I was gonna
Nice.
grab it, and
Oh.
I left it upstairs, and I didn't grab it. But I got the box sitting here. I can kind of very briefly kind of mention what it is. I'll give it like a um, tease, and I'll show it next week. But this is the instructions
Perfect.
for it. You know those Diaclone, the new Diaclones, how they did that? So
Yeah.
they did a crossover where they did the Gridman ones
Oh.
as Diaclones. I don't know how licensing works with this, but the Gridman is if you remember Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, that's Gridman. So this is
There we go.
essentially
Okay.
the Samurai Cyber Squad in the Diaclone universe. So this looks like Thunder Gridman or Synchro from the Synchro mode. Actually, this is probably a better shot of what it kind of looks. Maybe not. Um,
Hmm.
it comes with a whole like comic book that I can't read and everything 'cause it's all in Japanese. But yeah, so I'll show it off next week. But it's very cool because it is a jet. It has the Gridman figure, and he's like about I'd say about that big, very posable, figure art esque posability, but highly stylized. And then the jet has all the armor on it spread out so that like imagine Gridman kind of like puts his arms out and the jet connects to his back, and then all the armor without disconnecting from the jet can connect to him and slide on and clip on, and then he just pops him and all of his armor off the jet, and then the jet can fly away. It's like a delivery system. It's really cool how
Weird.
they've
I like
engineered
that.
this. And then
That's very
little
cool.
the other little add-on was one of the little suits that looks like the
Hmm.
when he would combine with the dragon guy. So
Hmm.
this just kind of resembles that, and the big jet can carry that around too. And it comes with a
That's awesome.
tiny unpainted grid man to ride inside of it. I don't know why they did that.
That's really cool. Who knows, but that's fun.
Yeah, I'll show it next week if I remember to bring it down. I keep it upstairs so I can fiddle with it during meetings. All right, let's talk about I think probably the big thing that we've all been waiting for. I'm going to hit the browser view. I'm going to hit the browser. There it is. I'm going to hit the browser view. Bring this up. There he is, the one we've been waiting for.
This one's for you, Morph.
Yep. And I've figured out, Pat. I've figured out why the head looks kind of weird and why the evil head looks great. I figured it out.
Okay.
So look at the box art. Okay, this
Right.
head looks awesome, right?
Yep.
It's because his hair is more black than brown. In the first season, they drew his hair very dark, just like the evil version.
Right.
When he came back in the one episode in like season 3 or 4 or whatever, where he was like having trouble like joining the team and everything, they drew him with a much
Hmm.
lighter brown hair. They drew him exactly like this. So I
I wouldn't say exactly. So I think you're on the right track for sure. There's two major things wrong with this face, in my opinion. The first is that they didn't even try to make it look like Morph. This is the animated series. I follow the guy who sculpted the face, and he specifically when it was revealed, he was like, "Yeah, we went for not animated."
yeah,
It's
that's
like,
the problem.
why?
There is no
Why
not
did you do
animated
that?
morph. Look at
Exactly.
hold on.
So
I got to go back up.
like
Look at this head.
you
That's closer.
like
It
right, it is. It's very close. It's much closer,
looks like Bruce
you
Campbell.
know. Fair. Well, and again, like Morph is not a buff guy. You know, he's got a muscular body because everybody does in the Marvel universe. But like, go back to the front of the box. He's a skinny guy. Like his
Oh.
head is long and gaunt. And now go back to the head that we
His
got.
his hair is like chopped flat. I think that's the
Right,
detail that
right.
they're kind of missing, or maybe it's just the angle. Maybe no. I
Well,
don't think
but
so.
yeah, look at his get up in there.
Hmm. I think
He's
I can
got
get
a
up in there more.
huge jaw.
Yep.
He's he is a
I
bodybuilder.
I think because of the large neck, they can't not
Yeah.
have a huge jaw, right? Like the neck is too
Well, I
big,
mean,
and then because of
technically,
that, everything else is too
technically.
big.
But and then the other major flaw here, and they did this to me with Arcade too. What is this character? He's the jokester. He's the having fun guy.
Hmm.
They gave us two heads. They gave
Hmm.
us a bad guy head, and they gave us a good guy head. And the good guy head, when has Morph ever looked like that? Like
Yeah,
he's
this is
giving
a
like
great
a
expression.
stare. Right. It's awesome. I like that. That is an excellent evil morph head.
It's it's so weird because
Um,
so much of it is exactly the same as the other one. Like it's the same
I
large
know.
jaw,
I
it's
know.
the same hair, but darker.
But he also has a smile. He's
Hmm.
got an evil smile, but he has a smile.
Yeah.
Um, I really do feel. I mean, especially because we've waited so long for this figure, I'm disappointed. I ordered it, of
Mhm.
course. I have to have it,
Yeah.
but I
I'm
am disappointed. I
I'm
think
interested
that
to see
this is not
I'm interested to see how it looks
good
in person. Maybe it's better in person. Sometimes
for
they
sure.
are,
For
you
sure.
know. I you know, I don't spend all day just like staring at my guys like right up close like this all day. That's usually
True.
just for like the first few minutes. He'll be on the shelf. I'm going to start slowly swapping out the guys with their new because I got the the old Marvel Legends of all these characters. I'm going to start
Hmm.
swapping them out for the ones that are actually accurate for the cartoon. And
I think the only one that
did,
I've decided against is Sinister.
oh really? Why?
I
Tell me.
like the red. I like the red cape. I
Hmm.
like the full redness in the cape,
I
and that's my one big detractor. It's so funny because like Jubilee, I barely need that Jubilee, but I love the sunglasses with
have you gotten
the
have you
squiggles.
have you gotten any of them in the mail yet? Have
No,
you
have you
ordered?
gotten any ears?
You know, I might have.
I got my pre-order or my shipping notes on Jubilee. I don't think I got it on Wolverine. It was funny. Wolverine, first they said, "Hey, it's not going to come out for a long time. Sorry." And then it was like, "Hey, it is going to come out and it's out right now." And it's like, "Okay." And they're like, "Hey, we charged your card." It's like, "Okay, cool." And then they said, "Hey, we charged your card for Jubilee too." It's like, "Oh, okay, cool. So they'll probably come in the same box, right?" No. Then they were like, "Hey, we shipped Jubilee." And I was like, "Wait, you started the process with Wolverine, but you shipped Jubilee?"
I just shit my pants.
And I still think I just shipped my pants. I just shipped my drawers. Um,
That's the greatest
but
commercial of all time.
I think it truly is. Um, the Wolverine is still waiting at the hub, I think, to ship.
I
So
I got
see what you
four
got.
because when you order from Hasbro Pulse, they ship everything in individual boxes, even if they go out in the same day. So I have four individual figure boxes that I'm pretty sure all from Hasbro Pulse. So if you want, I can open all
Nice.
of them and see what's what.
Well, let's see what you
And if you
got. Let's
want,
see what you
we
got.
could move on to actually I think the next topic was one that I was going to talk about anyway. But anyway, keep talking about Morph and how much you love Morph and whatnot while I open up four boxes.
I
If
do
it's not
love
X-Men,
Morph.
I'll just
That's
discard them.
fair enough. I mean, I really do. Morph was just from that first. Oh, look at that!
Got a winner.
Look at that! So I'm excited, but also miffed that you got yours and I didn't get mine.
Mm-hmm. Great box. Great thing. Should I open it? Should we look at them?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm
Get in
keeping all
there.
these boxes. I usually don't keep the boxes for things. I'm not one of those
I
people.
mean, with the silly, whenever there's a box like that, I'll keep it. Like I have like a box of boxes in the basement, where it's just
This
like,
is very
these are very special.
ta-da. He fell out of the thing.
Oh no, I think if they're gonna do this, they should probably
Uh,
do it better.
Yeah, this is all recyclable packaging, so it's all crispy crunch. All the accessories are in a piece of
Uh,
paper here. So the accessories, of course, being Angry Head,
oh, I love that head.
two two hands that don't have claws sticking out that seem to be purposefully posed for holding. Photo of Scott and Jean.
So
Is one of these the hand that's like caressing it? No, I think he just hold. They're just standard holding hands. Hands of holding.
good. Mm.
All right, here he is. You ready? It's a popsicle.
Man, I was really hoping they were going to do better for that interior packaging.
This new like all recycling packaging is
Hmm.
something else. I'm gonna be really pissed if there's
I
like
think.
paint damage or something on this guy. But
Oh yeah, I think that it's a great idea in theory. Um, but again, like why are there not just like Wolverine with a twist tie around his waist or something on a piece of cardboard? You know what I mean? Like you should be able to
they've been doing that for
pull
years.
that cardboard out and have a presentation of sorts. But let's see him. That looks really good.
It does.
That looks
He can
really
go.
good.
Arms can go all the way back like this. He's got the claws are not terribly smashed up. You know, like how the claws are usually messed up in the
Uh huh.
packaging. There, this one's a little bit, but now for the most part, these are
They
pretty
feeling pretty
good.
sturdy, or are they pretty bendy?
They are very bendy.
Okay.
I don't know if you could see that in front of my face there, but yeah,
Yeah.
they're very bendy. Yeah, but he's got the typical like ratcheted joints that we were just talking about, but
Mm-hmm.
everything looks really good. He's got
So bright. I
the
love it.
I know the very faint cell shading. It's not overpowering, but
Mm-hmm.
it's there. Um, yeah, the face sculpt looks perfect. It feels like a comic booky face.
That's I mean again like that's the thing about these particular figures. The cell shading didn't get me. The cell shading is fun when they do it right, but that's not where it got me. It's these little things. Like I have not been happy with a Wolverine mask in a long time from Marvel Legends. And so that mask can easily substitute on the other Wolverine I have from the 3 pack, the Love Triangle 3 pack, or any of my older ones. Um, so I'll use Snarling Wolverine head on one and regular Wolverine head on another. The thing again, if you're gonna do dual heads on Wolverine, I really feel like they should have given us a Logan head, unless hopefully they're leaving it open for doing a Logan figure down the line. I would love animated Logan.
It would be cool with the like with the bomber jacket and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my
Looking at Morph here, clearly they have bomber jackets.
yeah. They'll probably give Wolverine the exact same one and then his little plaid shirt.
Uh huh.
All right, putting the box in the save pile. Let me go to the next one.
Going to the next one. I think Jubilee was the only other one released in the X-Men line. Sinister hasn't been yet, and definitely not Storm or Morph.
I think I only got ship notices for Wolverine and Jubilee. Let's find out. All right, this one is actually Ninja Ranger Kimberly.
Hmm.
Moving on. So every single one of these has a different looking label, but they all say no pulse. So
I guess
I
that's all that matters.
bet you this is just based on the the uh the tape and stuff. I'm gonna guess this is another Lightning collection. Uh yeah, this is Ninja Tommy.
Hmm.
Ninjetti Tommy. Stack of cardboard over here is getting ridiculous. Oh, this is the same kind of packaging as those. It might not be Jubilee. Oh, wait, this is very
Oh,
heavy. This one is heavy.
it's a Transformer.
Maybe.
You get one of them Transformer bots.
We'll find out. Oh no, it's actually it's heavy because it's two figures, but unfortunately it's just Ninja Billy and Ninja Adam. So it was all ninjas.
All
All
ninjas.
ninjas and Wolverine, who I think is probably a ninja.
I mean, he was at one point anyway.
Yeah, that's all I got. I'm sorry. I'm
Well,
sorry.
that's okay. You had the world premiere on our show of
And
animated Wolverine in
it,
Marvel Legends
then it
scale.
goes, and it like shoots lightning all over the place. Yeah.
Lightning.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna stop that before I break his limbs, as I am known to do.
That you are.
This is gonna be awesome.
So,
Moving on. You know what I probably should have done was gone like full screen and not done this with the browser view up. There he is.
right. Right.
Yeah, there he is. Here's here's Zenkaiser with him.
Nice.
Same size, same scale. They could be friends.
I wish
Oh,
Wolverine was
sorry.
shorter.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's fine. All right. What are we talking about next? Oh, yeah, this thing. I wanted to mention this thing like a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Japanese
Japanese
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
Uh,
the emissary from hell,
Spider-Man.
the man who was not bitten by a radioactive spider but was recruited by an alien spider totem thing to fight crime using the spider costume inside of his wrist thing, which is also a communicator. It's very complicated, but he comes with some webs.
Yep.
He does not come with his signature machine gun, thankfully. He just took that from a goon. He doesn't really have a machine gun. Um, yep.
I liked when the guys were talking about this figure, and they were like, on the show, it was just white ropes. So we made sure to get rid of any translucency or anything else that we were doing with webbing, and we made it
Hmm.
just white ropes.
So
I was like, that's rad. I love it.
I'm not collecting Marvel Legends for the most part, aside from the animated X-Men guys. I had been collecting Spider-Mans for a while, but I stopped that years ago. I'm not doing Spider-Mans or anything. I'm just I would for until these animated X-Men's came out, I wasn't collecting any Marvel Legends. I got this guy to go with the Lightning Collection guys because he's a
Nice.
technically
Right. He's a
this guy crossed over with some common writers at one point.
there you
I'm
go.
going with that he's in the Sentai universe. So
That's
he's
fair.
gonna hang out with
That's a fair assumption.
he's gonna hang out with the Lightning Collection guys. Yeah, I'm just excited for it. He's supposed to be in the new Spider Verse movie that may come out someday.
Right.
Very excited for it.
I hope it's awesome.
Yeah, I would really like to
So
actually watch this show. I haven't been able to find it anywhere.
I've seen just clips. It's pretty
It's
redonkulous as you might
I
expect.
mean, it's the
So
this is the prototypical Toku Hero show. Like it was because of the success of this
yeah.
show that they were able to do Kamen Rider and then Sentai. It's crazy that Spider-Man is the reason we have Power Rangers.
Spider-Man is the great granddaddy of Power Rangers. That is
Yep.
interesting.
I mean, you know, he's not like the first Toku hero or anything like, um Toku as a genre has been around a lot longer, like Godzilla and
Hmm.
stuff like that. And there were tons of other special effects shows and everything. But Spider-Man kicked off a very specific kind of Toku show, like the kind of like
Hmm.
tortured superhero kind of show. Which I,
That we all need that.
yep, yep. So anyway,
Tortured superheroes.
so this is I got this guy. I pre-ordered him. All right, let's talk about this leak since we're talking about the Lightning Collection and everything. So this was an interesting thing. So like a year ago, there was a listing for like they use code words when they put these guys in the system, and there was one that was like PRG Selfie One, which usually selfie doesn't mean anything. Like sometimes they're like Jupiter and lawyer, and they just pick
Mm.
random words and stuff. Turns out,
And selfie is kind of a random word, but
yeah, turns out um, this is actually a thing. So how did they come across this? Um, the dev site for Hasbro Pulse, dev.hasbropulse.com, was apparently public, and uh, search engines at some point crawled it. And so if you were searching for certain things, instead of getting the regular Hasbro site, you would get the dev site. And if you went there, you would see that all the features that they're working on. So apparently they're working on things like being able to do auctions on the website. That the new where is it? This thing, the new HasLab lightsaber was revealed on there. But all that aside, this is actually a thing that they're apparently going to do. The selfie series, where um,
all I gotta say is they better do it now.
I know, right? Like I really hope that they were just like that. It wasn't like the day before they were like, yeah, this technology is not going to cut it. We're going to have to cancel this. And then it's all over the
we
place.
we're not gonna do it. No.
But I mean,
Pull the plug. I'll take it down tomorrow.
setting aside that this guy's face is just a little bit crooked and that everybody's nose is a little bit large, um, it seems they've only made these two heads for their marketing photography because you see these two heads on all the bodies. Oops, back to scale it out. There we go. Can I zoom it? There we go. So the the way it apparently works is they will offer a couple of bodies and you will get to choose. You will upload. Let me bring up the thing. You upload a photo or possibly photos of yourself, and they will somehow take those photos and turn them into a 3D scan and make a head, and then they will ship it to you on the body of your choosing.
Ah, another
That
head.
is another head. Yeah, you're right. Let's look for more heads.
I mean, let's to be completely honest, I imagine it's gonna be an app. I don't think it's just gonna be pictures.
I
Because
Yeah.
I have an app where I scanned my head pretty well.
Well, my
You
my
know what I
guess
mean?
is
Like it's
it's going to go into the Hasbro Pulse app. Like Hasbro Pulse has an app.
right,
It'll probably show up in there. Because the dev site, I don't think anybody saw how you upload the photo. So you're entirely right. It could be
right,
where they use the scanner doodles in the phone, or they just have you take specific reference photos or something like that.
right.
For people who don't have the
The
scanner
only
doodles.
thing I worry, well, I guess I'm sure, right? I'm sure that um the end product is going to be better or worse depending.
Hmm.
You know,
So the other thing that's interesting is
I
that
always okay,
they seem to have the same face with multiple hairstyles. So I'm assuming they're gonna just have you scan the face and then let you choose the hair from a predetermined set of hairs. It'd be harder
that
for them to do your
is
hair with a scanner.
right. And that's the thing that I'm worried about.
That's a really
Worried
cool Iron
about
Man
this guy
figure.
right here
Yeah.
and this right here
Hmm.
because I want this. I want this so much.
I don't want this
That
Mandalorian that's
I'm
apparently a
willing
Walgreens exclusive. Wouldn't it?
to.
It would be so
How
great if
does that even work?
me as Mando is a Walgreens exclusive. I love that. That's what I want. They're like, if you want me as
I
Mando,
wonder
you
if
got to
they.
go to
Oh, I
Walmart
wonder
every
if they
day
would have.
till you find it.
You know what?
This guy's such a
They
dick.
had a thing. And it was Hasbro. They had a thing where it was only in like it was tested in some targets where you would go in and you would do like there was a thing that you would put your face in and it would take pictures of your face and then in several weeks they would send you a figure, but it was on the bigger, those inexpensive 12-inch figures.
Hmm.
That's what they were made out of, so you could get like a stormtrooper but with your head,
Hmm.
and that was it. And it just tested in a few markets, and I get this is probably the advanced version of it. And so I wonder if like you can go to Walgreens and there'll be like a kiosk that you have to go to
Oh
that
man,
will do all the scanning and such.
that would be pretty incredible if that is truly what that was. It's like you want the Mando body, you got to go get your head scanned at a Walgreens. It would be incredibly
Right.
annoying, is what I mean. But it would be incredible that.
I would do it.
I mean,
I would do
I
it.
would too. I would stick my head in the scanny doodle, whatever it is. It's like
Right.
the MRI machine, and then they'd spit out a Mando of you.
I don't think it spits it out. That's my
I
guess. My guess is you're still gonna have to wait
I
for it in the
assume
mail.
it's gonna.
But
I can only hope that it's like when you go to the zoo and they mold you an elephant, you know, and you can't touch it for a minute because it's way
yes,
too hot.
that is
That's what I want.
that is exactly what I hope to.
Yeah.
I want to smell the plastic melting, and I want to hold it out like this because it's too hot.
Hmm.
Hold it upside down because that somehow is going to make it dry faster.
Hmm. Because the heat
Um,
rises toward the feet.
but also, I would put them on my face because they were so warm, and that waxy smell. That's a comfort thing.
You go
I'm gonna have to go to the zoo
If
tomorrow.
you ever go to the zoo lights in the winter, where it's like
Hmm.
negative 15 degrees, and then you get one of those things, man, that's nice.
Right, right. You put that right in your pants. You're
Hmm.
just like, all right, there we
Yep, we're on the same page.
go. No, but seriously, and I mean, the price listed is 60
I
bucks.
I hope
Um,
this is true. It seems super
right.
reasonable for this kind of a service, but
perhaps a bit too reasonable
exactly.
for this type of service, but also not. I mean, you're paying more than twice
Yeah,
a retail figure,
just about,
so
just about, because these are usually like
that
almost 30
is
bucks.
right. They're creeping up there. And so the fact that you can say, I mean, for me, the thing that sucks is there's like two fat bodies out there. And one is Ned Leeds, and that one's not even out yet. So it's not like they're going to give you that option. And the other one is friggin' Frogman
Well,
and Doc Ock.
yeah,
So
yeah.
uh, the best thing I can do is it looks like they're using the Ghostbusters body from Afterlife, so they've got a bit of the punch on there.
This one, oh, geez. For some reason, this website is the worst at scrolling. Every time I try to zoom in, it's like, oh, jeez. Okay, hold on. Reset. It says like, because all the Ghostbuster ones have a label. Yeah, it auto does the thing. All the Ghostbuster ones have a label, a name label, and I think they said this says recruit on it instead of an
That
actual
makes
name.
sense,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, because they're not going to print everybody's name on the little tag.
I want
I
to.
get that. I get that.
I want to see them do the. I want to see George Lucas get one of these Star Wars ones from his, his character. What was his name? When his Jorge. I don't remember. He didn't.
It's like
He had a.
whatever. It's his name
Yeah.
backwards. That's already happening, right?
Oh, is it? He already
It
scanned his
was
head.
supposed to come out on May 4th. Yeah. It was a George Lucas Stormtrooper. I have it on
He's
pre-order,
got.
and they were like, "Ha! You thought it was going to be May 4th be with you, but now it's coming out September something. Take that, Star Wars fan."
Mm, yeah.
So
Make
yeah,
that brand
yeah.
soon.
So that is already happening.
Okay. Well, never mind. He could still go to the Walgreens and stick his head in the kiosk though, if he wanted.
He probably
Maybe he
will.
wants to
I
be
mean,
Spider-Man.
just right. Yeah, I think I would definitely go with. I like Stormtrooper. I think that's a fun one.
Hmm.
I keep trying to scroll,
Yep.
even
Can't do it.
though it's on your screen.
Where do you want to go? Up or down?
Can't do it. Um, just go up. I would take Mando. I think Ghostbusters probably the one I'm gonna get.
Hmm.
Um, just because it makes the most sense for me. And I might, once the head. What I really want to know is how much of the head is sculpt and how much of the head is it being printed onto a head that's close to your head type.
That's a great question. That is a great
You know
question.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, if I get a head that really looks like me, can I cast it and I'll get it and I'll look at it and be like, oh man, it's still me? Or if I cast it and be like, oh, it's like blank man, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like you'll
So
note how
that'll be interesting to find out.
there's like three different faces here that have the same big nose. This person kind of has the
Right.
same this Black Widow kind of has the same smile as this Ghostbuster. This could be close to like a assemble from some pre-made parts the shape of your face, and then we will print your face details on
Hmm.
top of it.
Right.
So maybe they'll have a.
Which is still an excellent
Oh
service.
yeah, no, totally, because you could probably get pretty close to your face. Maybe hopefully they'll have a character with a beard. Maybe it'll be maybe you can get Fat Thor or something, Pat. Maybe they'll have that, and they'll just stick your face on it.
Yeah, that would be another good one. I mean, they got another demographic. If they do, they should put out the Ned Leeds body, the Fat Thor body. All these things are probably good ideas for at least part of their demographic.
Hmm.
We already have the Spider-Man body for the underweight. Over and underweight guys, they are the bread and butter.
Yep.
So saith
There,
Holden McNeil.
there are very yeah, there are
Um,
very few healthy looking people in the nerd community.
we're being some kind of an ist, I think. So
Yeah, what are
you
I'm
never know.
trying to think of what that
You
would be.
never know.
We're it's like the opposite of ableist. We're disablest. I don't know.
Disabled. Let's move on.
Uh, I don't. The next topic
I
is
can't wait. If the second this fires off, $60 is going to Hasbro from me. I don't care.
The next topic I have is me refilling my water. So if there's anything more you want to say about this, I had a dumb thought while you were talking about the stormtrooper because I thought for a minute like, oh, I hope it comes with the helmet so I could put the helmet on it. And then I thought, well, that's just dumb. I should just buy a stormtrooper if I wanted a stormtrooper where I couldn't see him on the face.
You know, but I'll bet you that it does come with it, to be honest, because you're gonna want that figure to be able to hold the helmet.
That's true.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know what I mean? You know. So whether or not the helmet fits on the head is a good question because it won't on many of them.
Speaking of helmets and heads, there was a ton of these Ninja Ranger figures that people got missing parts. And I'm just going to do a quick check of
Yeah.
these to make sure that all the parts are here. So Billy's got all three heads. All these guys come with three heads, which is great, and then two extra pairs of hands, and then one punch or kick effect. Because you get the um, I'll just show this one. So the three heads you get are when it's the actual actor standing there acting, when it's the actual actor standing there but during a uh, like action scene, and then the full-on covered face for when there's a stunt actor doing the thing. So and then you get like the punchy kick thing. Let's
Hmm.
see. Adam's got all of his stuff. Man, I don't know if you can see that. You can't see that. The face sculpts on these are on Adam is really good. Face sculpt on Kimberly, not great, but all the parts are here. Is that supposed to be?
That's how I
Yeah.
felt about the first Kimberly head sculpt as well. It's like like you can tell it's her, but
Yeah.
maybe not if you didn't know.
Yeah. I mean, she's smiling a lot, like really big, whereas all the other Rangers are not.
Hmm.
I thought that was kind of a weird.
Well, that's very Kimberly though.
Eh,
She was very bubbly.
I don't know. She was in a war for Earth.
Do you want me to do you want me to start in on the many Masters of the Universe guys I have here to review while you get your water, or do you actually want to take a break?
Oh, yeah. I don't. Yeah, sure. I mean, I usually want like you to have a break too. So yeah, if you don't need a break, you could start doing that. Then I won't put up the be right back sign.
So, or you could do the be right back, and then I'll just be right back. Just put it up and then take it down.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. Be right back.
And we're back. All right, so I got in count them, two waves of Masters of the Universe Origins figures from Big Bad Toy Store, a place that does not pay us to advertise for them. I got them in last week, and so sadly for you, giblets, I'm not going to open them for you. I've already opened them. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. Here's my stack of comic books. So let's get into it, shall we? We're gonna start with the wave. I think, yeah, that's the older of the two of them. So we are gonna start off with Jitsu. Oh, Jitsu, very cool. I like his color scheme. I like his paint. His sweet golden hand of chopness is very cool and metallic-y. I love that. It's big orange sword. And then of course all the regular bells and whistles. He's got a bunch of articulation, you know, um, well more than he ever had in the 80s. He's doing very well for himself. The armor does come off, but I'm not going to take it off right now. And of course all the parts can be popped for part swapping. So that's a really cool one. Next up in this wave, one that I'll be honest with you, it weirds me out a little bit. It is comic book accurate, mostly naked Stratos. Here he is,
I came back
his
at the right time.
hairy, right, hairy flesh colored body, awkwardly glistening in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
I do think I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure they gave us the flipped wings and harness. And so if you don't know, back in the day, Stratos came both ways with either red wings or blue wings and a red harness or a blue harness, always flip flop. So you'd get blue and red or red and blue. So now you can have whichever option you'd like. Part of me, though, I've always thought it would be fun for just, I don't know, being a weirdo, is making a He-Man figure, but with like the hairy chest. I don't know if it's going to focus on that, but you can see there's sculpted hair detailing on his chest. Very 80s, very 80s of him. So that's mostly naked Stratos. Then we've got this one I was not expecting to like as much as I did, but here is Buzz Off. Gotta gotta
I
love
love
Buzz
that
Off.
guy. I love
So
his
Buzz
gigantic
Off,
glasses.
right? Gigantic glasses, cool wings. It's a wingspan. I like that. So the glasses are even cooler this time around. Now back in the day, he just had like little tiny nub antennae, and then the helmet kind of held on to them and clipped in. But you can see maybe if, that his antennae kind of pop out the top there, and it they really do. So they hold on to, again, you can't really see. They're molded right onto his head appropriately. He looks much better with the antennae, and it helps keep his, like, once this helmet is on, it's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? So it's pretty sweet. He's got his little axe and everything, same articulation as everybody. Now, something to kind of note, and this was, I believe, true in the original figure as well. His chest armor is not removable. Most of the other ones still retain the removable chest armor. But again, I don't. His body never had removable. Like Buzzoff never had removable chest armor. So that is not anything. Um,
Is
the
Buzz off?
comic that came with all of
Is
these.
Buzz off wearing clothes, or is that just what his body looks like?
You know what? He is at least wearing a belt,
Perfect. Okay, so he's at least wearing
and
underwear.
given everybody else's wardrobe, but we're going to call those underwear for sure. But they do eerily match the rest of the brown in his clothing.
It would be it would be
So
weird for a
that's,
species to be like, I have striped yellow and brown skin on just my torso, and all the rest of me is human flesh colored.
well, I mean, that's Masters of the Universe for you.
I liked his design on the Mike
Eternia
Young
is a
show.
weird place. Which one now?
I liked his appearance on the Mike Young show. I liked how they redid him.
I liked pretty much all of the Mike Young show. Like I was totally okay with pretty much every change they made on that show.
Hmm.
Um,
Pat, I was just looking at some
so here's the comic that,
Star Wars news, and they list this as Hasbro. This was just announced after we started. Hasbro Star Wars Black Series 6-inch Darth Maul sexy. And
I'm sorry, what?
that's what Preternia.com has listed it as. Doesn't look sexy to me.
Well, we're gonna have to check that out as soon as we're done here. Um, so I don't think I've ever done a set of these guys before on the show. All the figures in a wave come with the same comic book. So that, and they all come with these kind of fun. I don't know. I've kept mine. I don't know how collectible they'll be in the future, but I just kind of like that they exist. Like this is just a little sheet.
Hmm.
They're
Indicating which
into,
parts of the
each
body are
character
which.
has an individual one.
Hmm.
Well, it shows you where they can disconnect. So each of these bodies is built to, like, you can take some Stratos arms, um, and pop them off and put them on Buzzoff's body, giving him all the more wings, because he needed more wings. And there you go. Now Buzzos, Stratoff, something.
Hmm.
So it's actually really fun. I've sat and part swapped some characters. I'm going to show you a good one um, in a second, because the next wave has one of my favorite, actually, a couple of my favorite pieces from this whole line. Now, I really do like, as weirded out as I am by this Stratos, the one thing I like about this figure is that this is not just an 80s figure with better articulation. This is a version of the character we never got in the 80s, the comic book accurate one where he's in his skivvies.
Hmm.
But it's still, I like this direction. Every so often we're getting characters we didn't get or couldn't get. Maybe they were really rare. In the case of our next contender here, it's a figure that I didn't know about as a kid. But this is Sunman.
Ah,
Now, I love Sunman. I love the story of Sunman. The idea, we've talked about it in the past several times, but the quick update on it is that a young man, African American, went to his mom. He was very sad, and he said he couldn't be He-Man because He-Man was white. And there is definitely part there's part of that that relates to every kid, in that unless you're actually a muscle bound blonde haired blue eyed prince of Eternia, you're not He-Man,
mm.
you know. But it's still easy enough for
it's it's a
a person of white color
yeah,
to or lack of color, can see themselves in He-Man.
right.
They can say, "Oh yes, I see
A white
myself
kid
there."
could be like, in the future, I could definitely get muscles.
Right.
Yeah,
So this kid's mom said, "Well, fuck all that noise. I'm gonna make you some toys," and she did. How cool is that?
my mom never
His
made me
mom
toys.
was just. My mom didn't make me toys either. I was lucky that my mom bought me toys, let alone made me toys. And so Sunman was born, and there are some super cool designs, and there are going to be more figures coming from Sunman in the future waves of this. And again, this is for my money. This is great. These figures will ultimately end up in my vintage displays and everything. They're new characters, made by Mattel, as far as I'm concerned. These are just as good as vintage figures. So I'm very happy with that. And in that vein, we have Anti-Eternia He-Man,
Ooh, shattered glass
which
email.
initially I was not even going to buy this one, because this is such a cash grab repaint, but it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
The more, his eyes. You're not going to be able to see this, of course. But his eye. Oh, maybe,
Yes, we can see
maybe
it. Hurry up. Talk about it.
his eyes have. I don't think it's coming through. They're red and yellow. Like there's a really cool color contrast happening on the eyes. Um, and or it might be, maybe it's white, red, and I can't tell. It's really cool looking. That's all I can tell you for sure. Um, and it's just a very weird and ominous figure, and I like it. That's the bottom line. I was thinking though, would have rathered in his stead is a slime pit He-Man.
Mm.
I think that would have been really. I imagine one is coming because Mattel loves the idea of reusing molds.
The one where he's like, "You're
But
weird for
we
having this."
yeah. Yes, yes.
I gotta
That
I gotta find a
oh
picture of
man,
that for the people who don't know what I'm
I
talking about.
I love it so much.
I
All right,
hoped
I'm gonna keep
when I first saw that, I hoped with all my heart that it was real, and I think I asked you about it too.
me too. Yeah, you do well because that is one of the pictures. If ever I'm having a bad day, all I have to do is look at this ridiculous fake comic cover. Well, the cover is real.
Mhm.
It's just the text that is changed, but it's so silly. It just it tickles the right funny bone. Um, Here we've got Clawful. I the colors are so bright on this figure. I love it. I feel like he might even be brighter than the original one. Um, but it's just this is classic. This is, but again, like this is for me. It's I like these. These are fun because I have kind of a clawful that I can throw around and play with. My vintage clawful I leave in a box right now, um, because they're getting to the point where those rubber bands aren't really going to last that much longer. I've started replacing some of them, but I'd rather not have to replace them all. You know, I think it takes a little something away from the characters or the toys once you've started replacing pieces with pieces that weren't originally there. All right, I've got two more. Well, actually, three more figures um, that we're going to go through real fast here. These are some of my very favorites. Here we have the
The
sorceress,
one and only.
and she looks really, really good. I mean, the colors are great. I love the way the wings open on the figure. The detail on the figure sculpt on you're not gonna be able to see it really well, but those feathers are beautiful. Um, it's a great figure. There's nothing wrong with this toy. I am very, very happy with it. Which is funny because I have this figure already once. When you buy Castle Grayskull, you have like her all in white, um, and I don't know, the colors do a lot for me because this particular set of colors is very iconic. You know, it brings me back to the childhood right away. You know, it's very, very good. It's a very good figure.
Hmm.
I'm very happy with that. All right, and this probably one of my very favorites of the vintage figures too. Um, One that's pretty hard to come by these days. It's the Horde Trooper.
Oh, that guy.
Oh, he's cool. His armor is very
I'd get a custom head of
metallic-y.
myself on that guy.
Right, right. That now see this line is interesting because they have to worry about keeping hold of that interchangeability, you know. And so I don't know if you recall, but if you push this button on the old figure, he would fall apart, you know. It's not quite the same, but still pretty darn good.
That just due to him. Uh,
It just it's like just
To his.
popped his chest and back pieces apart, so you can see that he's a robot inside,
Oh.
which makes it morally okay for He-Man to beat the loving shit out of him.
Oh, okay.
Um, and it's a cool little mechanism that they figured out how to work with it because you can still part swap. You can pop them right off at the waist there, and so you could give some other character exploding torso action. But again, one of the best parts about it, of course, is and I don't have my He-Man here, but I have an anti-Eternia backup that is going to show you what I mean. Um, ba ba ba. He-Man shows up to try to save She-Ra, secret of the sword style. Ba bam.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I already bought an extra one of these so I can do that.
Hmm.
Have a plus it's fun to have two guards, you gotta have two guys to start beating up on people. I have two of the Eternia Palace guards, so gotta have two of these guys. Frankly, if I ever find these in a store, I will buy more of them. But I ordered two right off just so I could have the set. So that's their two waves. Here's the comic book that came with all the last ones. This is an official Sunman one. This one was kind of fun. The book opens with Skeletor opening a portal and bringing anti-Eternia He-Man into Eternia, which went really poorly for him because Of course, Skeletor was like, "Hey, I really like the fact that you're evil," and the guy's like, "You have no idea," and then beats him up. But then Sunman shows up and is like, "I've been following you from universe to universe," and he wallops him with the power of the sun. So pretty cool. And then regular He-Man and Sunman team up to beat up on some Horde troopers because these are, of course, to sell you figures as well. Um, but all in all, once again, it's a super cool line. I I was originally going to cherry pick the line, and to some degree, I do. I don't buy literally everything that they put out. I think just one thing so far, but today Mattel Creations had an exclusive figure of a guy who I remember from the show, but I couldn't tell you. I ordered him this morning, and I don't remember his name. Um, but
Mm,
I'm excited because that's another one. That's another figure that's new to the line.
Leech?
Um, that never had a figure before. Huh?
Leech?
Did you say leech? No, not leech. You goof.
Grizzlor?
It was like Con
Uh,
Condor or
well, I'm
Condor. I
sorry,
don't
what
know.
is it?
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look
That's
it up.
probably a good idea.
Uh, let's see.
I got
I know he sold out in about half an hour.
I found the cover. It took me forever because I actually could only find the normal cover on it, oddly. But this is the meme thing we're talking about. The normal cover says something like Orko has a line and they're talking about like will Prince Adam survive or whatever. But he's being covered in slime with this like hand grabbing his crotch and he's just like, "You're weird for building this."
And I just love it so much. The notion of he's like being covered in this slime, and Hordak is just lording it over him, and he's just like, "You are weird for making this." So good. Anyway, his name is Kaldar. Kaldar. Do you remember Kaldar
Don't.
at all?
I don't.
Here, let me send you the link. He's sold out already because he sold out in the first half hour.
There was
But
a Power Rangers character named Kalendor once, and he was really good at getting the water away from the noodles.
it's a real thing, isn't it?
That was his name, yeah.
Yeah,
He
take a
wasn't
look at
he
that.
wasn't good at getting the
That's him.
noodles, so that was the joke. Oh, this guy. This
Right? Like
this
he looks
guy.
familiar, but I
Boom.
can't place him like
Yeah, he's
in
from
the episodes and whatnot.
Yeah, no,
But
I've never seen this guy in my life, but he looks cool.
he does. So I got one. I'm excited. Many people did not. I did.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Hoity Toity, got the yellow guy.
That's right. My favorite is like I got there on time, which is really all you needed to do because it was up for half an hour. And there was definitely a problem with the captcha. I don't know if that how you say it or
With the
um
cappuccino?
yeah.
The captcha.
I had to do it like 7 times
You,
and
are
keep
you wait
proving
a
that I
minute.
wasn't a
Are
robot.
you a robot?
I will not on the seventh time I wasn't.
Hmm.
7 times the charm, human. But they a lot of people complained about that, but it was like, yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I got it. I got mine. So what are you gonna do? But anyway, I'm happy. I'm happy I got it. I'll review it on the show when it gets here. Yeah.
Dynamic posing.
Horde
We
Trooper.
are children, Pat.
Yes, we are.
Are you
Yes, we
are you
are.
aware that SH Figure Art stands for simple style and heroic action?
I was not aware of that even a little. That's great. I
Oh, you
figured it
actually
was
didn't
like
know?
made by Stephen Howitzer. I made up a name with S and H.
Yeah. SH Figure Arts is simple heroic figure arts. Simple. Yeah. I thought they used to have in older figure arts boxes. They used to have like a big long explanation about what does figure arts stand for? What does it mean? Not like what does it literally stand for, but like, what does it represent? What does it mean to you as a buyer? Like, how is this going to
Hmm.
enrich your life? You know? Do I have another figure arts
You
box in
know,
here?
you know what I
What
know.
do we got over here? Saratobi Ninjaden Kenzan? No, it doesn't say. It says the same thing on his box.
Hey Brian,
Yep.
rock paper scissors shoot.
Oh, I who? Oh, Swordman one. Ninjor. Is he Ninjor? Okay, good.
Yes, rock paper scissors shoot.
What is that? What is that? What is claw?
Scissors, of
That makes
course.
sense.
We're children. So I got another thing to open. What do you got?
Oh, I don't have anything. I was going to talk about Star Wars. So
You want me to open the
celebrations.
thing
What do you
first?
got? I don't know what you're talking about.
I told you about this before the show,
Yeah, but I
man. You
wasn't
don't
listening.
listen. Never listen. I got one of the the best looking action figures I've ever
Hmm.
received. Um, at both literally it's of an attractive person and um the fact that it is just really well made. So without further ado, Elvira.
Elvira. I was going to sing some Oak Ridge Boys.
Elvira, unpleasant dreams.
Elvira.
um this like, I'm gonna show you guys because this is honest to goodness one of the best likenesses I've ever seen on a
Hmm.
figure.
I mean, we could put it up with this Finster that I got over here and see.
I know that's also a good likeness, but it blows. This one blows that one
All right,
away.
let's see it.
Blows it right away.
Hmm. Hmm. Very good.
All right.
Oh, that's just the boobs.
I know. Isn't that a good like? No, I'm just kidding. Um,
Oh, actually, that's pretty good. Yeah.
look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean the detail. I'm sure it's not coming through on the
Well,
video
no,
at
it
all.
was. Let me cut
Um,
over to just you. But when it focused, you could see it really clearly. One of
right.
the hardest parts about this kind of detail is that you really run the risk of them being slightly off with the eyeball paint and them looking like they're.
Right. But this one is just like it's the kind of thing where her eyes seem to kind of follow you. It's that well done. So she comes with a couple of really cool bits. Um, I don't know how well you're versed with Elvira, but
I literally
Elvira
just know
always
the Oak Ridge Boys
has.
song.
She's got a little dagger that she always keeps on her belt here, and that it was made removable, which is kind of cool because she has used it on
Hmm.
occasion
For stabbing.
for stabbing, good stabbing. And then she comes with these two weird things that I honestly don't know if they. I'm sure they have some kind of significance, but I've never seen these. I didn't watch Elvira's show. I never got to see her actual old show. I've seen the movie, and I'm a very big fan of the movie. Um, but the show where she actually showed old movies and uh, like Svengoolie. She's a Svengoolie, not a
She's a
Svengali.
Svengoolie.
Svengoolie.
A Svengali.
She's a Svengoolie. I just said she's not a Svengali. This is the only. I hate the elbow joints because they twist out of.
Elbora.
So she's got. You can see. She's got some jewelry on her hand. She got a nice little bracelet and a ring that's
Is that hand for
very
holding? Is
nice, and
that a
her
holding hand?
nails are. It is a Holden hand. I'm going to
She
show
can
you.
hold a Geertlinger in there.
Um, he's got this really neatly made chalice, which again, I don't know that this chalice is necessarily from anything, or if this is just something they decided to make her because it looked
That's
cool.
the chalice
Um,
that they threw on Keldor's face. Made him into made him
pretty
into
much,
Skeletor.
pretty much. So she's got this neat chalice. Has got this very cool smoky effect coming off of it. The chalice, if you look, the bottom of the chalice is like spider web detailing, and there's like different skull faces all over the different sides of the chalice. A very neat piece. Um, and she also comes with this. Like I said, this has to be part of something. But she comes with this weird head that has some candles on
Mhm.
it, and like a lizard or a snake in its
Love it.
mouth,
That looks like a snake.
and that she can, you know what I mean? She can, I guess, be freaked out by that or
Would
something.
she be freaked out by it?
And then she comes. Well, she wouldn't be, but she'd probably freak
Yeah.
other
Okay.
people out by it. And she came with a second portrait, which I'm not going to fight with the neck to get on her head, but it's again, it's remarkably good.
Huh.
She's doing the
Hmm.
winky. And again, it is one of the best sculpts I've ever seen. It just captures the character dead on. The paint apps are flawless. Um, I don't know what else I can say about this figure other than if you're a fan of Elvira and you don't have one, you should go out and buy one right now because they're really, really friggin' good. And there have been a handful of Elvira figures in the past. There was a really, really terrible one that was made that was kind of somewhere in the middle of like a Mego and a regular action figure. And it didn't look anything like her, and it was bad. It was real bad. And then there was another one that came out that I feel like it had very little to no articulation. It was mostly more or less a statue. That one came out more recently, and while it looked good, it didn't look as good as this. Not as good as this for sure. And last I saw, the market on that one was really high as well. So again, this is a $40 figure, which is a little much, but not for the quality. Not for the quality that you're getting. And she also came with just a very standard NECA black circle base. Nothing special about that, but she does stand well when pegged in. And there you go. You can't see this because it's below the screen, but she stands very
It
well.
is.
So this is one of my favorite action figures that I own now. This is that's high praise, but just spectacular work, spectacular. So all right, now Star War. You saw Star
Yeah.
War?
We were going to talk about celebration stuff,
Yes, it is celebration
but
times.
first, I
Um,
found this Twitter thread that has high res photos of some of the Black Series stuff announced today. So we got
let's see.
Ayla Sakura, which looks like
Uh
that.
huh. Looking like that. Very
Um,
cool.
Hasbro Star Wars Black Series 6-inch Darth Maul sexy. I'm not sure what that means, but he's got his robot legs.
He's got his robot legs and he's got a
I
bare
think it's the bare
chest.
chest that's the sexy part.
It's pretty sexy. Nah, but whatever.
And then we got some Obi-Wan guys. We got Grand Inquisitor looking.
Now, are we sure these aren't all Obi-Wan guys?
Uh, you know, I'm pretty sure Ayla Secura is dead, but Darth Maul is not.
Robot legs, Darth
He's
Maul.
definitely alive and has robot legs at this point. Um,
Right.
right? Yes, definitely.
I really honest one of the things I'm hoping the most for out of the Obi-Wan series is a live action version of that one episode that you made me watch the end of where Obi-Wan and Darth Maul
Mm.
fight
Yeah, I kind of hope
again
they don't.
for the
I
first
kind of hope
time,
they don't
the
redo
last
that
time.
same scene. I mean, that would be several years in the future from this show, but I do hope that they have
Right.
a meeting of some sort. Although that scene kind of implied that they had
If they
not.
have a meeting, it's gonna
I
have to.
mean, yeah,
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would love to see a live action version of that scene. I would love for them to also. Did you watch any of the
not yet.
episodes? We talked about
We
this,
did.
right? Okay, no. I watched. I was interrupted during the two episodes, so I watched most of the first and second episode. Um, but there, without giving anything away, there is a point where you see kind of a digital image of Obi Wan, and you can tell that they were very specific in that it wasn't just Ewan McGregor's face in the digital image. It was very much a composite.
Mm.
Like they put together Alec Guinness and his face in this image, and it works really well to be kind of a. But they don't do it to him. You know what I mean? Like they don't force it too far to where they're actually making his face weird. You ever see Looper?
Yes.
Yeah, so like, you know what I'm talking about
Yeah.
then, like where they
I hate
put
that
like
movie.
the weird Bruce Willis nose
Yeah.
on Joseph Gordon-Levitt for reasons unknown. What is that? That's neat. Is that the Ralph McQuarrie?
Yeah. Concept art edition.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I kind of love
Yep.
that.
It's pretty cool. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth
Yeah, it
Vader.
is. Probably won't buy it, but damn, it's neat looking.
Hmm.
If the Obi-Wan was by himself, because I really the Obi-Wan. Wait, did I say the
You did.
Obi-Wan? I meant the Darth Vader by
Hmm.
himself. If the Darth Vader was by himself, I would buy it. The Obi-Wan doesn't really do anything for me, but that concept art Darth I've always liked the look of his helmet.
Did
So
you see the?
perhaps another time they'll
I was
have it
I
down
was
the
looking
road.
at this Riot Trooper, and did you see the trailer for Andor? Anders?
I
Andors?
haven't yet. Oh
Andorians?
no, that looks good. Or I hear,
It's got
but I haven't seen. I
it's got
saw.
clone troopers in it, like Attack
Oh,
of the
okay,
Clones style
okay.
clone troopers. This is the first time we've seen them in live action, I think. Given that every single one of them was
Hmm,
CGI in the Clone Wars.
fair. So that'd be cool to see some more of.
Yep. So anyway, so the rest of these are, we have all of the Well, we have all the Inquisitors. So we have the Grand Inquisitor, we have the fifth brother and the second sister, no, fourth sister, and then they had a previously announced third sister, who is like one of the main.
Yeah, the third sister's already been on
Oops, I
sale.
keep clicking on stuff.
Um,
Stop.
she's been on sale for a couple of days, I
Yeah.
think. And she, because like they put out three versions of her
Oh,
all at
and
once.
Grief
They put
Karga.
out the. There you go.
That's a good head sculpt.
Uh, they put out the retro. That is, they do a good job with head sculpts. That's why I'm really hopeful for that selfie
Hmm.
series. These days, they've been doing a good job. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
I'm excited to watch this
We
show.
will
I just
see.
have not had a chance to do it. I'm hoping, Memorial Day weekend, I'm hoping I'll have some time. I could sit down, get through those two episodes.
Like I said, I watched the beginning of the first one and the end of the second one, and in that it was very enjoyable and I liked everything that I saw. So that's about as good of a spoiler free review as I can give at this juncture.
They they really
So
went
I'm excited to hopefully see
yeah.
more
They
soon.
really went all in on the third sister on Riva, if that's how you say her name, because they put out
They're right.
retro
They
collection,
did.
a vintage collection, and then a
Yep.
modern Black
And
Series. I think that's
well,
great.
the vintage collection is just the 3 3/4 inch
Right.
non-retro, if that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
It's like
So, and it does, it
yeah.
doesn't.
Well,
I want to punch them for the way they name things. When I saw that 6 pack there, I got really
mhm.
excited. And then I remember that I do own the vintage ones of all of those, so there's literally no reason that I should buy that. But I there was a moment where I was like, "Oh, they're all there."
You gonna get this Mando helmet?
Not gonna do it.
Mando helmet?
No,
All right.
no, I'm not.
You could keep.
If I was gonna get a helmet, it would probably be
Mhm.
Mando's though. But I don't need.
Yeah. So anyway, this is all just a bunch of stuff that they announced. If you're into Star Wars, there's probably a lot of characters here you like. Um, they also announced this leaked on the website on the dev site, but that they're doing Reva's
Mm-hmm.
lightsaber. I don't know if her lightsaber is actually different than any of the other Inquisitor lightsabers. On Rebels, all the Inquisitor lightsabers were identical and they all looked like this. So you could, I guess, if you want to be one of the other ones, you
Yeah,
totally could. But I looked at this. How much does this cost? $500. $500,
yeah,
and the
it's
problem with it is
so
like it,
stupid.
it does the fold up, because there's folds up, and I
Hmm.
I don't know if it spins. It looks really cool when you don't have the things plugged into it.
I mean, it does not look like
I
it
don't think it
spins.
spins, and I don't think you can fly with it. You cannot helicopter away with it like they could on Rebels.
I'm pretty sure you
And
cannot. I'm
that's
I'm relatively
to
certain.
me, that's not worth the $500 then. But it is extremely cool. And
Right. If it could
you
fly,
know,
I would say
yeah,
yes. But
lightsabers are like real.
guy like me might need two. But
For some, yeah, sure. You got both hands. Yeah, I'm a quadricopter. Yeah, here's $2,000. Can make me a quadricopter of light. Um, Lightsaber replicas are for some reason very expensive, and this one looks to be at least it looks like it is a very nice one. I don't know if it's
sure.
$500 worth, but I mean, I've paid more for an action figure, so I I feel like I can't really complain here. I mean, it does, like, it lights up and it looks cool. That's really kind of the
It
two.
does
That's
light
kind
up.
of the two things you need in a lightsaber,
Right.
right? And the detailing. It's. I assume there's a lot of metal in here. It looks, like it's gonna be really high quality. You get a nice little display stand. Um,
For my money, honestly, I've always wanted to just have a nice one that you can really use. You know
yeah,
what
you
I
could
mean?
really like
Like
cut
the ones
someone's
that you
arm
can
off
beat
with
the
it. Yeah.
shit out of. No, not like that. I mean, I would. I would totally buy that. But you know what I'm talking about. The ones that are actually made for stunt
Mhm.
fighting and they light up and they still look cool. And those run like $200, I think, something like that. I won't have one anytime soon, but if I was gonna spend crazy money, I would get two of those over getting one of these because that's
Mhm.
something like this that you're literally just going to have to hang on the wall and you are probably at one point going to play with it and might break it.
Yeah.
I I would feel really bad about
You know,
that.
the thing about
So,
lightsabers is it's supposed to be, at least for the Jedi, like your lightsaber is a very personal thing, right? Um, all these
mhm,
Inquisitors, they all have the same lightsaber. They're just like handed out at the end of Inquisitor school. On graduation day, you just get the lightsaber and then you helicopter away from graduation.
all right.
The
Here, kill a Jedi.
Yeah,
Here, kill a
I
Jedi. Here, kill a Jedi.
I've always loved the idea, and I never bought into it, but like that one series of lightsabers where you like can get all the parts and like mix and match. It's not like the expensive one; it's like the little kids line of lightsabers, but you can mix and match.
Yeah,
But I always just kind of liked the idea of like, building the lightsaber that speaks to you. And it doesn't. All the lightsabers are exactly the same in functionality. Like they all shoot out a beam of light that's yay big, and then you whack stuff with it. It doesn't really matter what the handle looks like at all, right? Technically, to its
right.
to its function. But
To a degree. To a
like that,
degree,
that
for
was one of
sure.
the things I liked about the video game. Well, actually, a lot of Star Wars video games have lightsaber customization as a thing. Like Jedi. Oh, what was the last Star Wars game? Jedi Fallen Order. Um,
Hmm.
you would get the character has his lightsaber, but then you find other pieces and you could decide to swap out pieces and customize it as you go. And I think Knights of the Old Republic had that too, and by the end you would have like a really cool lightsaber that like was the whatever you wanted it to look like. I always really like that idea of customization for no reason other than customization. It doesn't change its function, doesn't
I
make it
agree.
stronger or weaker. It's just now this speaks to me. I want mine to be gold, and I want it to have little forky things on the end, and I want it to have, some bare wires on it or whatever, or maybe I want it to look really fancy, like it's like this is like the premium lightsaber or something like that, or Yeah, some of the lightsabers look like I threw it together in a shed with old parts because that's what the best I had. You know, I like that there's personality in a lightsaber.
For sure. I think that's awesome. That is that's always been I like being able to customize anything. You know, like the lightsaber, I like that idea. I've always liked the idea of being able to like go into a shop or something, be like, you know what? Let's put this with this with this with. That's one of the reasons I really enjoyed
Hmm.
Migos. You know, Migos, especially back in the day before the Migo was a company again. You know, finding parts and putting them all together and making something new uh, was just a really fun way to spend time. You know, putting together a custom that way, or with the Glios. The Glios system is really fun for that. You put together whatever you want. You know, what you got there?
Was watching the
Oh, is it the 6 feet?
6 feet.
See, it's just that is such a huge collectible. You know what I mean? Like you are buying into something really hard that is not even like a classic thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that
Well, it's
is
like all of the Force Effects ones. It's got the thing where when you smack it against another lightsaber, it lights up in specific ways and makes specific sounds, which is really cool. I love that. Maybe that's worth the price
it's
right there.
very cool.
You know.
I mean, so you can play with these
Oh
then.
yeah, for sure.
Like they're made
They're not.
to be
They're
beat
not
on,
like stunt sabers. You know, like for 500 bucks,
right?
I wouldn't really chance it. But it's like you can't. They're designed to be smacked into other ones because they make the lights
Right.
and sound noise.
So
You know.
that's I mean that's a little cooler than like I really thought that these were fragile. You know what
Other.
I mean? Like I
I
would
mean,
not
I-
still for $500, I don't think I would go out whacking something with
yeah.
it.
No, I mean the Force Effects lightsabers have been out for a long time. You know, you could get them at like
Mhm.
Disneyland and stuff like that. And but yeah, they're designed to be played with to a degree.
I do like I saw I don't know if it was on this one or a different one, but I saw that they have a the wall cutting effect where if the tip of the saber is pressed against
Oh,
there
did
you
that
go.
just cover? Oh yeah, okay, fine, whatever. I just I was looking that up. It just kind of like shot over our videos on the thing, but yeah, Nee.
It's fair.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that kind of stuff is very
Just
neat.
keep doing this.
I don't know. I still think $500 is a lot. So,
This doesn't. Oh, it's very faint. Yeah, there it is. I see it. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Cool stuff.
hmm yeah, cool stuff. I love it.
So
The keep hunting
there's
Jedi.
45 days. They've only got about 400 backers yet. Actually, let me refresh. Oh, 430 backers. I was going to say, do you think they're going to make it? But given how many people have bought in the last hour, you know, I think they're going to make it.
I mean, they're probably gonna
Yeah.
make it. This is Star Wars after all. I feel like if they don't make it, some rich jerk is just gonna be like, whatever. I bought the rest.
Well, there.
I'll pass them out to stupid
I
people.
don't know. Does it say if there's any limitations? Because earlier, like these were only available to United
5
States, but
minutes.
now it's a shipping to contiguous United States. Shipping and handling charges. No, no, no. I guess this is only United States. They've opened up in two other in the UK and Germany, I think. So you
hmm
can more places can buy from the site, but I guess this is still just US only. Contiguous, in case you're one of those non-contiguous Americans.
Those dirty sons of
Hmm.
beaches.
Well, I ran out of topics. Pat, what else you got? We got like a few more minutes.
Um, I can do a minute or two on. They've released a new image from the Night Court reboot, which I'm very excited
Hmm.
about. Um, it's the first image of like it's definitely like a cast still, you know. I don't know if you remember Night
Yep.
Court well or at
Hmm.
all. But Dan Fielding, the DA, is still on the show, and if this image is any indicator, you know, maybe I should send you the image. Um, gonna send it on Discord because that's what I got.
Yeah.
Um, so if this image is to be believed, Dan is the main character, or possibly
He's the
just
man.
he might be the man, Dan the man. But don't tell him that. There it goes. I always forget that I have to like load it into Discord and then send it to you. But anyhow, he's taken center stage in the picture. So it still might be kind of about him, which is fun. Um, now the I don't know much about these characters. Do
Yeah,
you
I
get
got
it?
it. Hang on.
So Dan is the older man there in the middle. Um, he's the same character, Dan Fielding. Um, and then to our left, looking at the image, is Melissa Ronch. Is that how you say her name? I don't know. Theory. And she's the one. Her and her husband are the one who decided to reboot the show, and she is playing at least Harry's daughter. She is the daughter of Judge Harry Stone. My guess is that it's going to be Marky Post's character as well's daughter. That off screen. Hopefully, any Night Court fan was hoping that Harry and Christine got together, but the show was canceled before they could make that move officially. But they had a on again off again relationship throughout. Now that we've got the one lady there is obviously a bailiff, so we've got what she's up with. The other two people, I assume, are well, I don't know if Dan's still playing the DA, like he never moved on.
Mm,
Um, and so that would mean that the other two would have to be the uh, the defense attorney and the whatever Mac's job was. I can't think of what he did. The court clerk.
I don't remember any of their names.
So Mac was the black guy who wore sweaters.
Oh, the sweaters.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited though. I love the notion of night. I think Night Court is a concept that still works very easily today. You know what I mean? Um, and I love the idea of Dan Fielding being around in today's world. Um, Now the first image that came out for the show, it did look like he was wearing a wedding ring, but
Mm,
he was also clean shaven,
mm.
and so that was pre-COVID. So I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be the kind of thing where like Dan is reformed now and he's not um just going after the sexy time all the time. He's also got to be like what 60, 70,
Yeah,
80, 100. I don't know
he's
age.
definitely more than 10, less than
And
100.
less than 1,000.
Yep.
But um yeah, so I think that there's very interesting places that this could go. I am sad that apparently uh, Bull, Richard Mole, hated working on Night Court.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, apparently, from what I've been able to piece together, that I can find, there's no like definitive, I hated this guy and that's how it was. Um, I found information online that hinted at him and Harry Anderson went head to head a lot. Where ironically, Richard Mole was a very serious actor, and so he did not enjoy the idea of goofing around and stuff.
Really?
And Harry Anderson essentially was Harry Stone, even though the character was written prior to his involvement at all. Like it was not written for him in any way, shape, or form. But it just so happens that they were looking for a goofy, up close magic using, Mel Torme loving goofball, and that is literally who Harry Anderson is. So um, that was just serendipity. But apparently he felt like he didn't take the job very seriously, and so they butted heads a lot. And I remember there was one, like, I don't know if it was like it was TMZ or somebody like TMZ was like following him, Richard Mole, while he was walking to his car. Um, and at one point they're like, "Would you ever be down for a night court reunion?" And this was probably like 10 years ago. Um, and like he like stopped, and it was like, "No, if I saw that, I would run in the opposite direction. I want nothing to do with that. I love this industry. I love working, but I don't love the people." And that was it. And I was like, "Ooh, that's rough. That is rough." Because I loved Bull. And, I actually, the show is on. I can't remember what they call it now. It was IMDb TV. And now it's called like Freevee TV. It's a free app. And you get commercials, but
Mm.
um, the whole all 9 seasons are up there for watching.
Commercials are free too.
Uh, the commercials are totally free. Can you believe it?
Hmm. I can't believe it.
I can hardly believe it. But yeah, it's up there, and we enjoy watching it. It's there. It's funny because my daughter really loves the show. She likes it very, very much. She'll ask to put it on. But there are some episodes that go beyond. Like there's like sex jokes in all of them, but most of them go right over her head.
Hmm.
But then there are like whole episodes that are just devoted to like Dan having sex. And it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna skip this one. We don't need to watch this episode. We don't have to watch them all. I've seen this one a million times. We gotta keep going. Uh, and sometimes that happens abruptly in the middle of an episode too. We'll just be like, oh, okay, all right, that
Yeah.
too
Yeah. I've
much, too
suddenly
much.
decided I've seen enough.
Well, it's so funny. I watched all these episodes when I was her age. I don't remember any of that when I was a kid
Of
because
course.
it goes over your head. But there's some stuff that I just don't think can go over. You know what I mean? So it's like, if we're getting to that point, we can just
Yeah.
turn it off and watch something
Kids
else.
these
So
days are smart. They may not get it, but they know something's up.
exactly. Like I can't remember. She asked me a question not too long ago about like penises, and I was just like, and I gave her the very technical answer. It was the true answer, but it was very technical. And then I was like, okay, if you have more questions, feel free to ask. She was like, nah, it's okay. And it's like, thank God. And now I've blocked it out to the point where I remember something like this happened, but I don't remember what the actual question was because it was innocent enough. It was just I don't know if maybe she was questioning. She knew that her and mommy have vaginas because we like, I guess we don't
This
like, but we we definitely use the proper terminology for genitalia in this house. We try not to shy away from it.
this conversation about night court
Well,
got weird.
it did. But we always try to be honest. You know what I mean? And but every so often you just get those questions. It's like you don't need. You're 9 years old. You don't need to know this. It's fine. It's fine.
Mm.
I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm just going to tell you that I will tell you more about this when you're older if you need me to.
Yeah.
Good
If
day.
you ever need to know this, hopefully you don't.
Right. I'm going to send her your way. We were having a discussion the other day. She did not know that you were her godfather. So you're doing a poor
Oh,
job.
that well, I mean, that happened when she was so young.
she, she was so like she all of a sudden, if we were watching a movie or something, and Godfathers came up, and she was just like,
You guys are
"Do
watching The
I have
Godfather?
a Godfather?" Yeah, yes, we were watching The Godfather, because Night Court was just too trashy. I had to turn on The Godfather. Um, but I think we were watching Three Men and a Baby, and they said something about Godfathers or something like that, and she was like, "Do I have a Godfather?" I was like, "Of course you do.
Hmm.
Who do you think your Godfather is?" And she's like, Uncle Brian, maybe? And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, Uncle Brian, he's your godfather.
Yeah.
So you got to go to him, especially on the day of his daughter's
Exactly. You
wedding.
can ask me for a favor. It's coming up in October.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Um, I do it on birthdays. I don't do it on weddings.
Oh, that's good.
Um, so I think we're at the end of
So
the episode here. This
pretty
kind of fizzled
pretty
out at the
much.
end, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, I guess we'll just abruptly stop right here. So
Good night.
Good night court, everyone. I mean, good night. Um, yeah,
That sure was a good night court.
check us out next week. We'll be back, and yeah, that's it.
We
I'm not.
will probably.
It's over.
It's over.
I really got to rearrange my buttons. I always forget where the go away button is. There it is. Bye.